Editor Chris here. This episode's a little bit rougher than our other ones. The audio got messed up, so it's a bit choppier. Hopefully that doesn't deter you from enjoying the episode, though. You have a good day.
Welcome y'all to Backwoods Obscura, a podcast dedicated to the lore, legends, and myths surrounding the creatures that may lurk in your backyard. My name's Hewitt.
I'm Chris.
Hey, how you doing, Chris?
I'm doing great. It's really hot outside now.
Yeah, that's true. My air conditioner's been nonstop.
Yeah, mine has been too. Seems like your air conditioning has been, you have like weird spots in the house now.
Well, it's more or less certain parts of my HVAC don't work as great.
Oh, okay.
Like,
that sucks.
My children's room's super chill. The hallway and the living room, pretty decent. My bathroom, cold. My bedroom, no.
Yeah, so we have a newer HVAC, but like we have these older windows
that makes a big difference.
Yeah, and they just lose.
To the podcast listener, this is where we both reveal we're old men and we start talking about the usefulness of brand new windows in our homes and how we can't afford them.
Yeah. Look, you'll get there one day. I can't actually say that. Like that's a very
in all good faith. In all good faith, you cannot.
Yeah. I hope you get there. Like, in all sincerity, I hope everyone does better in their lives if they're not having a good time right now. I believe in you.
Solid. Do you want to know something weird that happened this week, though?
What's that?
I had the first bout of sleep paralysis I have had in 20 years.
That's always fun.
Well, almost 20 years. Yeah, I got a visit from the Kushma.
Yeah.
I literally felt something jumping around my bed. And then when I was more or less pissed about it, like, oh, come on. Stop. You can stop. Like, I wasn't like scared. I was legitimately more annoyed. Like, I have to be up to take kids tomorrow to places. And so then when I eventually sat up straight and looked around the room and there's nothing, I'm like, God. And then when I laid back down, I could move my legs and I could move my arms, but I could not sit back up and I felt a weight on my gut and my chest. So I just reached over and grabbed my Roku remote and put on YouTube for an hour until I guess the Kushma got bored.
The Kushma was like just fucking with you the entire night.
The bitch is like, man, you ain't no more fun. And then smacked me in the forehead and I had a migraine the rest. Like, I had a migraine that moved from my forehead to that nerve cluster in your gut.
Yeah.
Which is all my migraines now. So it's like the Kushma caused me a migraine that left me the whole day with
Thanks, Kushma.
Hey, like I couldn't even go back to sleep later on because I have a teething 9-month-old who's like, I'm cutting 3 teeth at once, Daddy. I'm going to scream high pitched. I'm like, my hearing is actually impeccable right now because of a migraine. So your scream is so much louder. Let's make you comfortable. Please.
It's like, God.
I'm going to cry too. I'm going to cry with you.
I actually did have a mild bout of sleep paralysis at the campout. Bad
place.
Yeah. So we went to, I believe it was Frecky's.
To Frecky's family's property down in the Cachata or Homachita Forest.
Yeah. Nice, lovely place. Really fun time.
Was not ready for the beach in the middle of the Mississippi woods.
Yeah.
I'm peeling.
Yeah, you're still peeling, which is wild. Like, Ruby was peeling. She's like, she was wondering how I didn't get sunburned. I was like, I feel like I'm one of the only people aside from, like, Moose and Frecky and maybe Cannon.
No, Cannon got sunburned. He got it on his nose, but also Cannon wore his shirt, and the most of Cannon we saw was he rolled his pants up 2 inches above the ankles.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't like indulge in jumping in the water like we did, but yeah, I slathered on.
Ruby did coat you in like SPF 1500.
She was like, "You got to take off your shirt and get in the water." I'm like,
to be fair, Moose tried to get me to take mine off to join the shirtless party, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm fat. No one wants to see this. No one wants to see the truffle shuffle.
But no, that was fun. But I did have a mild case of sleep paralysis out there. But I think it was because the wind was blowing.
Was it first night, second night?
Second night. There was like a mild wind blowing. It was shaking the tent. I think that's what woke me up. So when I woke up, I thought the tent was collapsing, and then I couldn't move.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. And then when I finally woke up enough, I was like, oh well, time to go to bed. Fortunately, the tent was nice and, like, breezy. Like, Ruby really found the right tent.
She did. My tent, not so much, but I also took a nap at, like, 1.
Yeah, you took a nap at 1 in the middle of the hottest part of the day.
It was in a spot that had no shade. Like, if I'd been thinking, because, I mean, I was already not feeling great.
Yeah.
I would have, like, gone and, like, put my air mattress in the back of my truck.
That would have been
actually really nice. Remember that for next time.
But yeah, would you like to hear about a monster, a horror, a creature?
Is this Cthulhu?
No, it's not Cthulhu. It is something that is a little bit different from the usual creatures we do because it doesn't actually have... Like, most of the creatures we cover, most of the cryptids so far have had some sort of, like, connection in history, and they've been appropriated, for lack of a better term, by different areas and changed in their own ways, but they all had their own lineage. Like, the Rougarou or the Falk monster, even, where it's like, you can trace it back, or it has its lineage in something bigger. This, we don't know.
Oh, before I forget this, and to derail us slightly, talking about the Rougarou, the 3rd grade reading level at my son's school, like, he's moving in the 4th. I'm like, man, why couldn't this book be in the 4th? It was like Bedelia versus the Loup-Garou.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, really? Like, okay, why is this not in the 4th? I want my child to read about werewolves.
Hell yeah. But anyway.
He gets Greek mythology instead.
What's wrong with Greek mythology?
Zeus.
Oh, yeah, that is true. You know, I said that knowing full well how Greek mythology actually is.
Like, everybody was doing good, and then cue the Disney, and then along came Zeus.
It's like, yeah, we don't talk about Zeus in this house.
I put my dick in it.
I made things with my dick.
You know that monster? That's mine. You that's got to fight it? Mine. Go fight your half-brother. I don't want to.
Say, oh, but it's going to tear up that town, and you better go fight him. Oh, geez, it's tearing up the town. You better go fight him. I made that one with my dick.
That's a clip we have to get, isn't it? I made that one with my dick.
Anyway.
Just a picture of the Kraken with Zeus off to the side. I made that one with my dick. He didn't. He didn't make the Kraken.
Okay. So, we're going to go all the way up to a little town in Illinois called Enfield.
Ooh.
So, Enfield is a town of about... Right now, I think the 2020 census had it at about 700, but back then it was about 500. So it's a very small town.
Especially how far back are we talking?
We're talking about the 1970s.
Wow, that is slow growth.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually pretty exponential when you consider a lot of small towns here in the South, which are like either stagnant or going down.
Well, I mean, no one wants to necessarily live in Benin. Hold on, I gotta figure out, where is this place?
It's in the South end next to, that's on the border of Indiana.
Where's Indianapolis? Yeah, I do actually. Shoot. Effingham is where I usually turn. So yeah, I have seen, and I knew I had seen Enfield, Illinois on a sign right after a Lion's Den bookstore billboard and a Jesus is real, so is hell billboard.
Oh yeah, this is definitely one of those types of towns where you're gonna like drive through and see, you know, religious stuff out there. Like driving through Rayville and you see the giant cross.
You see that in Effingham too, but theirs is bigger.
Now I'm just picturing all these towns fighting over who has the bigger cross. But anyway, getting back to what is called the Enfield Horror. Not to be confused with the Enfield Poltergeist, which is in London. The Enfield Horror, the Enfield Monster, is a creature that was sighted in a small town of Enfield in 1973. Specifically, we were just talking 1973. We're not talking about any time else.
Okay.
Which is another unique thing. Because
it showed up this one year.
Yeah. It is
this poor cryptid that had a hotel reservation for one point in time.
So, it's described as 4 feet tall, with gray, slimy skin, large pinkish to red eyes like flashlights. And... Flashlights. Yeah, flashlights. Not fleshlights, you pervert.
The way you said it for a second, man, like I'm just saying, like that's terrifying. If a 4 foot tall slimy creature came out with fleshlights for eyes, I'd be like, I need to get out of here. I did not sign up for this kind of movie.
It's the Pocket Pussymon.
The worst Digimon evolution ever.
We're derailing this already. So it has pinkish red eyes like flashlights. Short arms that protrude from the chest or the breast area.
Like a T-Rex.
Yeah, almost like a T-Rex. And most notable, 3 legs.
3 legs or 3 legs?
You see, I knew this was going to happen. I'm
getting you back for the succubus episode.
So, it's supposed to have 3 legs, like 3 normal legs.
2 in the front, 1 in the back.
Yeah. Some depictions have it with the mouth of razor-sharp teeth or ape-like appearance, although we will get into why that might be. Unlike a lot of the stuff we covered, the creature doesn't really, again, have any historical tethers. It just kind of showed up one day.
Was there.
And now we're talking about it. In fact, here's the biggest thing. It was only a span of a few months that this thing actually showed up.
Now, this is sounding kind of familiar to some other cryptid stories, like Mothman and a few of the others.
Yeah. Well, I would say Mothman had a bigger impact, and there have been like other sightings of the Mothman.
To be fair, Mothman did destroy a bridge.
Yeah. I mean, if you believe in the Mothman and Indrid Cold and all that, he fucked that bridge up.
With his mind powers.
But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say the references. Obviously, Wikipedia, Cryptid Wiki, I went to the YouTube channels of Bob Gimlin, or Gimlin, one of those, and the Ropin Network. There isn't any, like, every other place I went to and read about this, it pretty much had the same information, same accounts, just kind of telephone different details. So this is my writing of the events that happened. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of telling you a story of the events that happened in my own words based on what I've read and heard from you.
I get it.
So late at night on April 25th, 1973, a man named Henry McDaniel was returning home to his kids after a night out. He came home and his kids were spooked, saying something was in the backyard scratching to try and get in the house. So this was the first time the kids were ever allowed to, stay home.
Alone.
And McDaniel was like, okay, the kids are just spooked at every single thing. They're not used to an adult not being there. So he goes into the front. Like, as he's talking with them, calming them down, he hears, like, a scratching at the front door just where he was at. And he goes to the front door. He opens it, expecting a dog or, a wild animal like a raccoon or something. And he sees this large 3-legged beast. I'm sorry. Now that you put it in my head.
I didn't even make a face.
I could see you thinking it. So he immediately slams the door. He goes and gets his revolver and rushes outside.
Mm-hmm.
he takes 4 shots at it. The first shot, he says he hit it. And as he hits it, it bounds away. And what he describes as unnatural speed. I believe it was like 20 feet every bound or something like that.
So it hops.
Yeah, it hopped away. He immediately called the police. The police did an investigation and looked around the property. They saw scratch marks in a AC unit, a window unit, dislodged a bit. Like, so it was kind of canted or something like that, and they saw scratch marks in the house, and they saw these trail going away from the house. They said it was dog-like trails, but they had 6 pads instead of 5. So a dog has like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pads. Mm-hmm. This one had 6. Aside from that, they really had nothing to go on. It's like, this happened. They were a bit skeptical. I mean, you say giant-eyed, 3-legged beast attacked you. Although they did have, earlier in the day, a child that reported something similar. The child said that the creature attacked them and scratched up their shoes to the point of shredding their shoes by stepping on his shoes. Which is weird.
Did this cryptid disrespect a couch as if...
No, it...
I'm just saying, like, the Dave Chappelle skit where it's like, your couch, and it dug his shoes in the couch.
I mean, a little bit like that. It's like, oh, you got Jordans on? Fuck them.
And I'm this weird little tiny 3-legged T-Rex that may have inappropriate eyes and jagged teeth. And I'm just going to step all over your shoes, kid.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, apparently, according to this child.
Like, it didn't, like, try to punch him with its tiny arm?
Yeah.
That apparently can dislodge an air conditioner?
Yeah, apparently can dislodge an air conditioner, but it didn't do enough damage to his kit to... Especially after shredding his shoes, he did not have, like, injuries on his feet. At least everything I read and heard, he didn't have any sort of injuries like that. He had, like, minor scratches on his arm or something.
I feel like this child was like, can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
No. Can I pet that dog?
But yeah, so the police weren't able to do anything. They were pretty skeptical, although they did report that McHenry seemed sober, sound of mind, things like that. So they ended up leaving and shaken up, but nothing else to do. You know, he went about his life until...
It came back.
The night of May 6th, he woke up to a shriek. And I should have said this before, but the monster did shriek as it was bounding away. Mm-hmm. It's said to have like a wildcat-like shriek.
Mm-hmm.
So, he woke up to this shriek, and again, grabbed his gun, rushed outside, went down the neighborhood, and he saw the creature kind of like it. From the way it's described, it was on a train track. And, like, you know, one of those neighborhoods that has a train track and then the forest is right there. So he said he saw it going down the train track. And it, like, he wasn't, this time the creature was much further away. So he wasn't able to he wasn't going to try and shoot it, obviously. But the creature saw him and just casually went the other way.
It's like, oh wait, this motherfucker shot me. I'm gonna skadooch this way.
The monster's like, nah, I'm not dealing with this.
I don't want this smoke.
I don't want to deal with this. I'm tired. But yeah, from there, we have a little bit more happening. So, damn it, Hewitt. Dang it. Put up Pokemon Go, turn off your phone.
It's on vibrate.
Okay. Thank you. So we have a few other accounts that happened there, but, you know, obviously after this, McDaniel started talking about it more, kind of almost raising a fuss. He actually called into a radio show, an Indiana radio show from, how do you say this, Kokomo, Louisiana, Kokomo, Indiana, and told his first-hand account to this man named Rick Rainbow. Fucking good name.
Mm-hmm.
So Rick Rainbow was like, this is a cool story. I love this. I'm going to go check it out. So he got some of his friends. He went down to Enfield. And he started, he wanted to set up a spot and wait until dusk to really capture the spookiness. And as they were checking out the spot and everything, they saw what he said was, I think this one, he said, was hairy, not slimy. 4-foot tall creature that was gray, that was bounding around an old abandoned house. Now, he didn't have any of his equipment set up, but he said he saw it, and then as they tried to chase it, it bolted into the forest behind the house, and Now, I don't think any of my sources said how he got this, but apparently he got a recording of the creature, of the howls. Unfortunately, it's never been released.
Oh.
Apparently, it's been handed off to a cryptozoologist named Lauren Coleman, but Lauren Coleman has not ever released it. I don't even know if I didn't look up Lauren Coleman because I'm a terrible researcher. I don't know if he's still alive even. I mean, it's 1973, I don't know.
Cocaine was a thing back then.
Cocaine was a thing. I mean, cocaine was always a thing. But, yeah, so that was Rick's account. He went back and started talking about it again. And it became a huge thing in town. And so after the second sighting, people started coming into town as these stories started to come out, as McHenry started to talk about this. And unlike Falk, Arkansas, the White County Sheriff didn't fucking put up with this shit. He was annoyed with it. Especially after one moment...
Well, hold on. Was he a White County Sheriff, or was it White County?
This is in White County.
Okay. That makes...
Yeah.
How about you, unlike Arkansas?
I mean, it would be kind of like Arkansas if it was the other way. So the sheriff, he was getting all these people, some what you would call genuine monster hunters, cryptozoologists, paranormal investigators, then other looky-loos that just want to see if they can catch a snapshot of the monster or something like that. And they were starting to get intrusive into the town, so he was like, I'm getting tired of this. And after a certain moment where a group of hunters said they saw the creature, which these hunters were hunting, quote unquote, but apparently they were drunk and brandishing weapons and being very reckless.
I'm coming after Bigfoot.
They said they saw the monster. It was an ape-like creature that was also gray. They found it in underbrush, and it scurried off. The sheriff had enough, and he actually threatened Henry McDaniel, with a incarceration for disturbing the peace and causing a panic.
Yeah, I was going to say causing a panic would fall underneath this. Fall underneath that.
So, yeah, he was fucking mad.
The sheriff was like, I don't believe in no cryptozoology.
After a month or so, the sightings died down. People stopped giving a shit, and people went back to their daily lives. And since then, there hasn't really been a sighting of the Enfield horror.
I'm going to say this. The name makes it sound so much scarier than what the story actually...
Yeah, the actual story... okay, so McHenry, everything I've read, he was a U.S. veteran. He seemed like a pretty down-to-earth person.
Not the kind of dude that would just make up a weird three-legged thingy.
Yeah, and the thing is, he talked about this in the short period that it happened and no time else. He was just like, dang old shit's happening. And then,
it's done.
Yeah. So it's not like he kept going on with it, trying to hammer it home. The the few people who were like, even Rick Rainbow, even if you don't find his accounts like very reputable. I mean, reputable is a very loose word when we're talking about cryptozoology anyway. Like, he was like, oh, I had this weird experience. Okay, well, I'm going to move on.
Exactly.
Yeah. And there were, like, again, Lauren Coleman did actually go to the town and investigate it. And he said it was weird, but I couldn't find anything. And, yeah. There was actually a quote on here. I can't seem to find it. But, yeah. So what is the Enfield horror?
Jacked up coyote.
You see, I think you're onto something there, because when I started reading this, my first thought was like either a malformed wildcat or like a coyote, because of the fact that it bounds and it... Okay, so...
Well, okay, if it is a quadrupedal creature that is missing a limb...
Well, I was even going to say... okay, so there are certain dogs and cats that have their front two legs missing, or they're malformed to where they're shriveled.
Yeah.
And they can walk. Like,
it's kind of a lope.
It's kind of a lope, and it's kind of a hop.
Yeah.
So... who's to say that, you know, a creature like that or an animal like that might develop in the wild? Rare, because
especially to get up to about 4 foot tall.
Yeah, rare for them to survive into adulthood, but it could happen. So that was my leading theory. Another leading theory was like a exotic pet gone loose, like a kangaroo, but kangaroos are fucking big.
Okay, depends on the breed of kangaroo. They can be as big as us, or they can be between wallaby size and us. Like, there could be now they said that a 4 foot tall kangaroo, and I mean, 1970s, people would have seen, I feel like people would have, like...
There would be more sightings of something like that.
But again, in a town of like 500 people, maybe they didn't catch Omaha Mutual's Wild Kingdom.
Potentially.
But I mean, like, I could kind of see a kangaroo, because if you saw a kangaroo, and they can jump far, not 20 feet, but they can jump far, and they have that tail, and if you're not used to it...
Yeah, you might mistake it for something else. And I believe they have pad-like feet, so...
They do, and also, if you were to see them from far away, their upper bodies... Okay, kangaroos can get jacked.
No, they are jacked. They don't have much fat.
Like, if you were to see them, their arms are not... huge, but no, I could kind of see this being like maybe a malnourished or something kangaroo that got loose.
Yeah,
you know, I could, you know what? I can sort of vibe with that. More than coyote that doesn't have its front two legs.
Well, the reason why I threw that out there is because when I was listening to everything, it's one of the first things that popped in my head, because I've seen videos of like cats and dogs that have missing front legs, and they kind of have similar behaviors. But, you know, a kangaroo could be it. Some people say it was a mass psychosis event. I don't think it was that.
Wait, hold on. This is it's ergot poisoning type situation.
Yeah, there was actually a sociological paper done on it. Trying to explain it as a mass psychosis event, and I'm not really convinced by it. Because for one, the guy... Henry McDaniel wasn't exactly like scared or like freaked out, and he was a veteran, so he knew how to act under stress. So I think I think it's a little bit shaky, but you know, I haven't read the paper. Maybe they make a better case than what I've read.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to pull something up.
Pulling something up.
Kangaroo noises. I'd call that a screech.
Okay. Let's do a comparison. Turn that off.
I would not want to hear that in the night, personally.
No. So let's see. A bobcat scream in the woods. Hey, that's kind of similar.
I could get that. Yeah.
That's a bobcat.
Yeah. That's why people think they hear women screaming in the woods.
And it sounded similar to a kangaroo. So I'm coming around on this kangaroo theory, actually.
Okay, and I'm also looking at, was this the Cryptid Wiki? It looks like a chaos god got a hold of a kangaroo.
Potentially, yeah.
I'm trying to see, I'm trying to see if there is no release of its. I don't want that Enfield poltergeist. Fuck that.
We don't do fucking poltergeist here.
Is the Enfield poltergeist the one that's at the like the old Stone Inn or something like that?
I'm not sure. But anyway, getting back to what it is.
Yeah, there is. You're correct. There is no posting of the noise that it made. It's just people.
Yeah.
Oh God! Someone posted up a picture of Abeloth for that.
So, is it?
But here's the deal: the Enfield monster, the first on YouTube. It's a picture of a kangaroo's in there as one of the potential theories.
Yeah. So, well, that is one of the theories that was given out by a bunch of people. In fact, okay, so I want to get back to, before we get into like what else it could be, because it's mostly meme stuff at this point. The YouTube channel Bob Gimlin, look, I'm not throwing shade, but he is like an old school sort of believer in the paranormal and cryptid. And what I mean is, like, most people have adopted a sort of skeptic aesthetic, you know? Like, even if you're doing the whole skeptic shtick for show, you do the skepticism, right? You're like, oh, this could be bad. Ooh-hoo-hoo. This dude is like, no, fuck you. All the skeptics are bad. I hate them.
Everything's a cryptid.
Yeah. No, he was literally like, if there's one thing consistent about skeptics, is that they're going to find an excuse for anything. And I'm like, God damn, this man hates skeptics. Like, it was an entertaining video on my part, because I was just loving this man's attitude. I was like...
You were here for it.
I was here for it. I was here for the sass. I was here for the spunk. And I reckon...
Let's avoid saying you were here for the spunk when we mention what the eyes could be.
God damn it. But yeah, go ahead, check out, I've only seen like a couple of his videos, but yeah, I'll go recommend it. It's not going to bite me in the ass or anything. But yeah, so is it Bigfoot?
It's too little.
No, it's not Bigfoot. Alien?
Maybe. Small, gray, and slimy, but also small, gray, slimy, and hairy would be terrible. It's a hairy, slimy monster.
Demon?
No. Demons could move an air conditioner.
Yeah, that's true. The demon would just like push it in. The Cryptid Wiki also branches this off from the Mount Vernon creature from 1941, though this creature is described as specifically baboon-like.
The Mount Vernon?
Yeah. So, I think the reason why you see the jagged teeth or ape-like appearance is because people started attributing it more.
Oh, like kind of the God, what's the term for it? Not cultural borrowing, but like
appropriation.
Not even appropriation, like kind of a
osmosis. Yeah. Where like you're kind of like, oh, this thing is kind of like that thing, so now this is more like this thing now.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, we might have to talk about Mount Vernon. I've got a couple things on our list from Indiana and Illinois.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something we can talk about, but that's pretty much everything. I know it's not like the most exciting, but I like stories like this because it's just an isolated event. It's from someone, McDaniel, seems like a credible source. It's just something, regardless of what it was.
It was weird to him.
Yeah, it was weird to him, and it could have been weird in general. Like, I mean, here's the thing. Seeing a kangaroo at 10 o'clock at night
in Illinois
is going to freak you out. Seeing a malformed animal 10 o'clock at night, freaky as hell. Or seeing the Enfield horror as described in the Cryptid Wiki would be freaky as fuck. So I think regardless of whether or not the Enfield monster is like a monster, It's still kind of a freaky thing that happened.
It's a good story. Hold on a second, though.
Oh my god, he keeps touching his phone on this episode.
No, I was going to show you this.
Oh no.
Okay, so instead of maw full of pointed teeth, those are kangaroo teeth.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, I did not know they had teeth like that. Oh, that's a kangaroo jaw. Yeah, that's
Jeez.
That's all pointy.
That's
Yeah, okay, and if a kangaroo straight up hollered at me in the middle of the night, and I just saw all those tiny pointy teeth inside that maw, I you know what? I'm 100% convinced this is an escaped kangaroo that freaked everybody out in '73.
yeah. And the thing is, it's like, if you're someone that has an exotic pet and you're not supposed to have it, are you going to go out there and be like, yeah, that was my kangaroo?
No, nobody in this town of 500 is going to admit to having a kangaroo.
And the thing is, that kangaroo, this is going to get morbid, it's going to die in those woods, and then its bones are going to get picked clean.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the deal, someone coming by with the rest of the shape of that skull might go, that's a weird deer, and keep going.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm going to say this. Like, I enjoy the story. As a dad, that would freak me out. Like, one of the things that my son has decided is funny is telling me that he's seen things outside of his window.
That's not fun.
No, I go, what'd you see? A bush. I'm like, I went out there ready to kill something. You said somebody was walking by. No, I said the bush was fluttering by my window. You said something went by your window.
It's like, look.
I'm out here about to, like, bare knuckle box Bigfoot.
You have to understand. I'm about to kill for you.
I'm gonna smash the Pabst Blue Ribbon, take off my shirt, and fight the Mothman.
Okay, and on that note, we are Backwoods Obscura. We release every Tuesday, and we are on most podcatchers. We're trying to get on Apple. I'm working to fix that. We are going to be setting up social media soon, so hopefully we'll have better news about that in the future. And we are also Team Bonus Action.
Team Bonus Action is a group of friends who play tabletop games and video games for charity. At this time, we are partnered with St. Jude's, but often we are partnered with the Trevor Project or with Extra Life and the Children's Medical Network of Hospitals, specifically Batson's Children of Jackson. We are also looking at branching into food security and reproductive rights as some of the charities that we are supporting. So if you can donate, please do. You can find out more information at teambonusaction.com. You can also find us Team Bonus Action on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Skies, Threads, and... I already said Instagram.
Yeah, you did.
Instagram again. We might be on TikTok soon. Also, you can find us at bonus_team on the hellscape that is Twitter.
And I was about to say, since Knox isn't here, it's since.
Hey, everybody, y'all have a good night. We almost gave a TBA sign off, but hey, enjoy your day. Hope you had fun with these stories, and hey, have a good drive, have a good jog, get a good exercise, and if it's during finals season, good luck on your test.
My brain.